This is an honest, unbiased, independent review. I've not sought or been offered or received any kind of inducement for doing this. Hello, I'm Steve Maskery and I've got a new tool. Welcome to Workshop Essentials. This arrived in the post yesterday morning, and it's a Chinese side rebate plane. It goes by the name of Luban and Qiangsheng. So the first thing that I noticed was the cardboard box, actually. It's really good quality, and that fills me with confidence, because if they've gone to this much trouble making a really good box, I mean, that's 2 layers of triple-walled corrugated cardboard there. It's not quite as robust as wood, but it's very, very good. And if they've gone to that much trouble making a good box, I expect them to have gone to a lot of trouble to make a good plane inside it. When I unwrapped it, the first thing that struck me was it looks quite nice, except for the knob. I think the knob is horrible, but everything else looks okay. It feels a little bit rough at the edges, sharp. Not rough, that's the wrong word, but sharp. So I've gone round and I've just rubbed a diamond file off on all these sharp edges just to smooth them off. And that's made a lot of difference, actually. That's made a lot of difference. And I've also done the knobs in the same way on the lathe. They were quite sharp at the edges of the knurling. That's better. When I examined it closer, I could see that there were 2 small dings in the mouth on this side. And they weren't in line, and I thought, well, that's a bit strange, because dings are usually where something gets knocked, aren't they? And you can't really knock it in there. And I thought, well, that's a shame, because one of them was the metal had been dinged in such a way that it was forced up, and if you rub that on your workpiece, it's going to scratch, which obviously you don't want because it's going to be a finished face. And then when I started to take it apart, I discovered what those dings were from. This toe should come off so that you can cut into dead ends, like a stopped housing, a stopped dado. And when I tried to take this off, it would not move. It was absolutely stuck. So I did what every self-respecting woodworker did. I tried to force it. And just as I put my screwdriver in there, I realised what those dings were. This was covered in oil, and the oil had dried and cemented the toe to the body of the plane. And at some point, somebody, presumably in the factory, because this is brand new, had put a screwdriver in there and twisted it to force them apart, because those 2 dings lined up exactly with the tip of my screwdriver. And because this was covered in oil and the oil had dried, it had cemented this on. So when I got that off, I could see the ding in there, and I've polished that out as best I can. It's not gone 100%, but I don't really want to mess this edge up. I don't think it would matter if I took some more off, but I don't want to remove any more metal than is absolutely necessary. So I've cleaned it all up with thinners and a paper towel, and now it's all nice and clean and smooth. The paint job on this is fair. There's a few bits in it, a little bit of a run there. It's only 1 coat because it's rubbing off already on the corners. It's certainly not a coachwork job. The blades themselves are held in with a cap iron, and there's 2 of them, so that I can use it one edge or the other edge depending on which way the grain direction is going. And they fit into 2 little beds, and they are bevel up. These blades are bevel up. Now that means that the cutting angle that you get will depend upon on the honing angle. And I think they're ground at 25 degrees. So it's quite a big bevel. You can feel it very easily. So just keep it flat when you're honing, and all shall be well. There is also a very sharp point on the end there, which has got to come off in a minute, otherwise it will damage the workpiece. So those are the various components. Let's see about putting it together. First of all, I'll put the toe back on. I do wish they'd make these pins one longer than the other. It would be so much easier to get the thing in. You could get one in and line it up to get the second one in, and the screw goes in the end there. As I say, the blades are bevel up, so in fact you can't put them in the wrong way because the blade doesn't project enough to cut if you try to put them in bevel down. So that goes in there, and that goes in there. And getting the right projection is actually quite tricky. So I've worked out a way to do it with a little gadget, which consists of a block of wood with a groove in it. And this groove has been chamfered on this edge, the edge that's closest to me, like this. And I've also got a couple of shims. This is a 2mm plastic shim with a bit of masking tape wrapped around it. And they go in the groove with the smooth edges of the packer towards me. So one goes in there, that goes in the mouth of the plane, and this one goes in the other side. Again, the smooth edge towards the blade. So they go in there like that. And then I put the cap iron on, just roughly to start with. Leave it loose. And the toe of the plane is pushed up to the plastic shims. And that leaves a little bit of a gap at the front of the shim between the shim and the body of the plane here. So now we take something small and pokey and push the blades up to the shim, like that, and tighten up. And that gives me a nice projection. Now, if you want less projection than this, simply stick a piece of masking tape around your shims. But I've discovered that this works quite nicely now. There we are, a nice fine shaving, and it's the same on the other, with the other one. Lovely.
Because the blade is at an angle and now projects out below the sole of the plane, it also projects out at the side, and that sharp point will scratch the workpiece or draw blood. So once I'm happy with the projection, I just file off the point to make it safe.
In use, the shoe goes on, and which way round it goes depends on which blade you expect to be using, which in turn depends upon the grain direction, of course. So that can go in there like that, or it can go in there like that. So, time to get a piece of wood and try it out. Right, we'll use this side. I've set my depth stop there, and it's just a question of oh, that's rather nice. Let's see what it works like in this groove as well. It's only a narrow groove. Let's see if we can widen it. Oh, nice. That's what we want.
Well,
so there we are, the Luban Qiangsheng side rebate plane. It's a nice little tool. Is it as good as a North American one, Lee Nielsen or Veritas? Probably not. It hasn't got the finish. It needs some fettling. But it works very well, and it's a lot less money. So you pays your money and you takes your choice. And it has one big advantage in that this is actually available. And at the moment, nobody in this country that I can find has got any stock of Lee Nielsen or Veritas stuff. So the bottom line is, am I glad I bought it? Yes. Would I buy it again, knowing what I know now? Yes, I would actually, because the things that were wrong with it are easy to put right. And then I've got a tool which does the job exactly how I would like it to. So, thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, don't forget to do all the stuff. And I'll see you next time. Until then, treat yourself to a new tool and enjoy your workshop. Cheerio!